everyone, I'm Rachel and welcome to the Whitby Public Library's STEAM It video. So if you've never heard of STEAM, it stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math. We do tons of STEAM stuff at the library, and today we're going to be looking at something that's more science-y. So this experiment is going to use normal stuff that we can find in everyone's everyday kitchen, and we're making monster eggs. Ooh! So monster eggs are made with baking soda and vinegar. You form them around a small object, and then we get to dissolve them with the vinegar, and it's cool and bubbly and super awesome, and I cannot wait to show you. So, to make monster eggs, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a container for actually melting your monster egg in, because it gets messy. You're going to need some small containers for mixing up your baking soda, a little bit of water, some vinegar, you might use some measuring cups, a little bit of glitter if you have it on hand, some food coloring, an eyedropper or small syringe, and of course, baking soda. The thing I absolutely love about this experiment is all you really need is the baking soda and the vinegar and a little bit of water. You don't need food coloring, you don't need any of that extra stuff. If all you have is these things in the house, you can still absolutely make this craft. You'll see as we go along though. All right, let's get started. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to take about half a cup of baking soda. I'm going to pour it in my measuring cup, and then I'm going to pour it into the bowl, and then I'm going to pour it into my measuring cup, and I'm going to pour it into the bowl. All right. Next, we're going to add food coloring to make our eggs some fun colors. So I'm going to put about 4 drops of blue in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to put about 4 drops of green in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to put in some glitter. And some glitter in here. And about 2 spoonfuls of water each. 1, 2. 1, 2. Next, we're going to start mixing. So we're going to start with the blue. And we want our baking soda to get a little bit wet, but not super wet. We just want it to be able to clump. And when we feel it, it feels moist. If it's too runny, just add more baking soda. And if it's too dry, just add a little bit more water. So I'm going to mash it all up, combining our glitter and our colors, and see how that white baking soda has turned a nice shade of blue. And if you grab it in your hand and you find it's clumpy and moldable, it's perfect. So I'm going to clean off that one. You are good to go. And we're going to start with our green. So we're going to start mixing, mixing, mixing. Mixing around, and our green color is slowly going to take over the white and the sparkles. There we go. That's starting to look nice and green. And keep just mixing, mixing, mixing in swirls. This is very easy to do. Just be careful you're not flinging baking soda everywhere. All right, and then we're going to take a little bit out. I'm going to go grab. Now I'd like this one to be a little bit more wet. So I'm just going to put a tiny little bit more water in, not a full spoonful. Just a little bit more like that. There, that's looking a bit better. Actually, you know what? I think I'm even going to put a tiny little bit more in. Perfect. There we go. Now we're in business. All right, with that done, you're going to want to have a clean cloth down. If you're not working on a table, that it's okay, you can get dirty. And you're going to grab a small toy. That's the best part of these eggs, is there's a fun surprise inside. So I like using tiny little hard toys like this little dinosaur. If your toy is squishy and soft, it's hard to form around it. So I'm going to take my two colors and I'm going to dump the blue into the green, just like that. And then I'm going to mix it up. Not mixing a lot, just enough so that they're combined. I don't want them becoming the same color. I just want them, there we go, like that. That's cool, isn't it? It's like earth colors. All right, so here's the messy part. Well, it does get even messier. We're gonna take our hand. We're gonna scoop our baking soda mixture into our hand. See, I'm making a big mess. And then we're gonna take our creature, so I'm going with a dinosaur, and we're gonna squash him in. And then we're gonna take more of our mixture and we're gonna pat that on top of our dinosaur. See, we're just getting messy, messy. And then we crush him together into our hand. So right now we are forming the egg. So we want it to be a nice egg shape. So we're gonna keep crushing and crushing and moving the egg and rotating and squishing him together. Now, a problem you might come across, which I always do when I do dinosaurs, is that his tail is sticking out and his nose is sticking out. So we're just gonna put a little bit extra on those spots to make sure he's totally concealed. What I love about these is they're super fun to make ahead of time, and then you can use them at birthday parties or sleepovers or anything with your friends, and they'll have no idea what kind of creature is in the egg, which is why they're monster eggs, because it's an absolute surprise. So, now our tail is covered, our egg is squished and formed. You should look a little something like this. Now the thing about these eggs is that you can keep them in your freezer for a long time. And I actually find that if you put them in the freezer for about 20 minutes, they melt a bit better. So we're gonna move this aside and we're gonna bring over our plate. This is one that I made earlier that's been in the freezer, and this is our brand new one. So we're gonna set our brand new one over here and we're gonna use the one that's been in the freezer. It only has to be in the freezer for like 20 minutes, which is enough time to read a quick book or go do some stretches. Next, we're gonna open up our vinegar. And so we're not dipping directly into it, we're gonna pour a little in a glass. That's plenty. And then we're gonna use our eyedropper. Now, if you don't have an eyedropper, you could use a little syringe. If you don't have a little syringe, you can even just use a small spoon and pick up little bits of vinegar. I find it works best with the dropper. We're gonna put it in the vinegar. We're gonna squeeze and release the vinegar. So our eyedropper has lots in it. And then we're gonna release the vinegar onto our egg. Now see what's happening? Can you hear that? The fizziness, the acidity of the vinegar is reacting to the base of the baking soda, and it's creating a chemical reaction. And that's why we're having this fizz. Now, the goal of this is the more vinegar we put on, the more of our baking soda is going to fizz away, and we're slowly going to reveal our creature inside. Now, what I really love about this craft is it does take a little bit of time, especially if you use an eyedropper. And it's a lot more fun because you get more time to look and to watch the chemical reaction. I'm gonna spray some here, spray some here. Now, if you dump a whole bunch of vinegar all on it at once, it's gonna go a lot faster. You're gonna get right into your egg. But just the little bits at once is gonna let us slowly get in there. You can start poking around and seeing what's happening as we keep spraying and spraying and spraying. Now, the goal for you to have tons of fun would be to keep doing it like this. I'm starting to do it faster, and I'm adding more vinegar because I want you to be able to see what we end up getting to. So these are a really easy craft to make in bulk, to make tons of them ahead of time, which is why I love them, because they're great for programming. All you need to do once you've made them and they look like this guy, stick them in the freezer, and you can leave them there forever, really. I've left mine for weeks and weeks. I pull them out of the freezer. You can put vinegar right on them and they react just like this, and it's super cool. So, do you have any idea what I'm revealing in this egg right now? What little creature this is? The answer is, as he's starting to come out, I got a little, let me spray him a little bit more, bunny rabbit. See, you can put anything you want in your egg, and once your little creature's out and you've added all the vinegar you want to, cool, right? Hear the bubbles? I'm gonna do it again. Make sure you listen. I love that sound. It kind of sounds like the surf coming up on the sand of the ocean. And again. Awesome. And then we're left with this really cool muck left over. And it's fun to poke at the muck. Remember, this is all vinegar, so we can keep lifting it and squeezing it. You can still see the bubbles of the chemical reaction popping up. And it creates this really cool paste. Now this one didn't really have any sparkles in it. If you do have sparkles at home and you add them, it creates an even more awesome scene for you to play with. See, I just can't stop. And that's it for dinosaur eggs, or monster eggs, or whatever kind of eggs you want to call them. Awesome. All right, guys, and just like that, we are done. I hope you have as much fun as I have making your, making your very own monster eggs at home. We should be careful with them. Oh, I have a big mess to clean up. Anyway, speaking of messes, whoever helped you do this craft, you should really help them clean up. The faster you clean up together, the faster you can move on to a new craft. So thank you for watching. Please follow us on social media or visit us at whitbylibrary.ca. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find us absolutely everywhere, and you can come discover more programs that we have online. I've also attached a few links below that you can look at for Hoopla programs and some books that you can read that will give you a fantastic family STEAM time. All right, that's it. Bye.